In February of 2003, the U.S. government prosecuted 53 of its own citizens, including me, man, simply for blowing glass. Actually, simply for playing with glass.
The Organized Crime Drug Enforcement Task Force, codenamed Operation Pipe Dreams, has taken 3 decisive steps to dismantle the illegal drug paraphernalia industry.
2 decades later, we will reignite the flame as we invite 12 elite glass blowers to the famed Dream Factory in the Arts District of Las Vegas to compete in Season 1 of Operation Pipe Dreamers. Now let's join our host, Jason Pinsky, and get this competition started.
Thanks, Tommy. As you just saw, we've got 12 phenomenal artists in Season 1. But for this episode, we'll be featuring 3 artists over 2 sessions, with the winner taking one of 4 spots in the finals. In glass, the chillum is considered the most personal pipe. We asked each artist to bring a chillum that best epitomizes their creative style and personality. All 12 chillums will be auctioned off for charity at the end of the season. And now let's go inside the Dream Factory and meet our 3 artists. The table 1 is Earl Jr.
Hi, my name is Earl Jr. I'm from Fort Worth, Texas. Been blowing glass for 16 years. What inspired my chillum was just to make kind of a basic chillum that you could fit in the palm of your hand. It's kind of always been the style of chillum that I like to take out when I go out and about. That's why I made it.
At table 2, we've got Windstar.
My name is Shayla Behrman. I go by Windstar Glass. I've been blowing glass for a little over 7 years. I'm from Pueblo, Colorado. I made my chillum because it's my favorite colors. It uses gold and silver fuming, which will change the colors of the glass, and also has my favorite flower on it.
And at table 3, Eugene.
My name is Eugene. I'm from Evergreen, Colorado. Been blowing glass for 21 years, and I made a chillum with purple horns on it because I like how it looks alien-esque.
We'll have 2 familiar faces that'll be judging with us all season. The first is Jason Harris, our host at the Dream Factory and co-founder of Jerome Baker Design. His legend went from pipe dreams to creating opportunities for the next generation of dreamers. Under the tutelage of the great Bob Snodgrass, Harris's work over the last 30-plus years has become a part of Americana. Karen Willenbrecht Johnson is a prestigious soft glass artist whose career began in the 80s. Her astonishing natural glass work is derived from her love of adventure and nature. In 1987, her passion for glass and exceptional work led her to the assistant position for the legendary glass artist William Morris. Her perspective far transcends the world of pipe making, opening the door to glass collectors and fans globally. Our guest judge is Abe Fleischman from North Star Glass. A former glass blower himself, Abe became instrumental in the development of the huge palette of new glass colors and tones that came on the scene more than 20 years ago. So Abe, now that we know you, what's the theme for this episode?
Our theme this week is colored glass. We got these amazing artists here, Eugene, Windstar, Earl. I think you're going to see some amazing stuff with what they're doing this week.
Season 1 of Operation Pipe Dreamers features 4 semis, each making up 2 sessions. Each artist will be tasked to blow a specific type of piece based on today's theme, color. Our judges will deliberate, and the artists' combined scores over the 2 rounds will determine today's winner and who moves on to the finals. The overall champion will take home $10,000 in cash and will hoist our prestigious champion's flame while donning a custom West Coast leather jacket by designer Maxwell Wald. But first, let's learn a little more about the piece they'll be blowing in Session 1 in a little segment we like to call Dream Piece Theater.
Good evening. I'm Professor Blunston, and welcome to the Dream Piece Theater, where we feature a fun yet oddly shaped piece. The sidecar. The sidecar pipe resembles a traditional pipe. The name came about in a similar look to the sidecar motorcycle. Traditions have carbs at the end of the stem, shotgun style. The modern variation has a carb on the can, and thus the pipe clears better with the smoke clearing out the can. Let's go ride along with our artists in session 1 and witness the evolution of 3 brilliant sidecars.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your torches. Session 1 begins now.
I'm looking right now at Eugene. He's got a big tubing in his hands. He's got a blowpipe that he's attached to it. Eugene, what are you thinking right now after traveling all the way out to Las Vegas, Nevada to compete in this wild show called Operation Pipe Dreamers?
I don't know, it's just exciting. I have done quite a few flame-offs before, but this is a totally different approach to flame-off, you know? I mean, people are gonna get to see the true culture of pipe making, I think, a little bit more in-depth and like get to feel like what we're all about, you know?
Eugene Goins is pretty much the Michael Jordan of the pipe making scene at the moment.
I don't know about that.
I think that, you know, my vision on it is, I've seen you come up from a young kid when you first started blowing glass, and you had that, you know, that attitude of first one on the court, last one off the court. Most of the community that I know, they look to you as a mentor, a leader, and they get inspiration from you to drive their entire life. I mean, how does that make you feel?
I mean, it's flattering. I worked at a smoke shop, you know, and I thought, I'll just sell pipes. Like, I'll just sell the pipes. I don't want to make them, you know. But then I tried it, and it was like fell in love with it instantly. So it was like I found a purpose, is how I would describe it. You know, my whole family's artistic, never really felt artistic myself. And then when I tried glass, it was like I found my craft. I knew it immediately. It was like the first time on the torch. My hands were like shaking because I was so excited, you know?
I try to do maximum amount of contrast that I can. So every color next to the one before it is just a wide difference, but also at the same time complementary.
Windstar, what's going through your head right now?
Just thinking about laying these first stringer lines, actually. Very one track mind right now.
How long you been blowing glass?
About 7 years, a little over 7 years.
And you have a cool tool collection.
I have tools, yes, lots of tools.
And what's your favorite tool?
My hands.
Your hands? Excellent.
Or my torch.
The German guys are like, we need our glasses and our scoring knife. I could go anywhere and do anything. You know?
I need the torch. Gotta have the torch. The balance of color really comes down to what I want to reflect in a piece and what I want to stand out in the piece. So usually I try and play with a variety of colors, one being the one that's going to pop the most. So bright versus dark, so on and so forth.
We have Earl Jr. Now Earl, I first saw him compete in Vegas at the South Point. When we decided to ask you to come to Operation Pipe Dreamers, everybody was stoked to meet Earl. You have a great look, bro.
It's a huge honor. Exciting to be here, you know, definitely.
How did you get into glass being in Texas?
I got really lucky, man. I skateboarded with this guy all through high school, and he would always buy pipes from this one guy, and let's go get a pipe, you know, and went over there and checked out the shop. And at the time I just asked him, like, how do you get into this? Like, what do? You go to college for this? I was just out of high school, so I was trying to figure out what to do with my life. And so he's like, no, you don't have to go to college for this. I was like, well, that's even better, you know? The day that I came into that shop, I said it was the first day of my new life, for sure. I could feel it. I knew it was, so. In glass, lately my favorite color's been Duro, like an opaline by North Star. I got a really sweet color. Well, just like earth tones, purples, different spectrums of, you know, like chakras and things of that nature.
We're just getting started here at Operation Pipe Dreamers. Session 1 continues after the break. Welcome back to the Dream Factory in Las Vegas. Lots on the line here. Jason, tell us what these artists are competing for.
We're competing for 10 stacks, bro. Also, this flame of ancestral knowledge sitting here next to us. We created this in Maui specifically to give energy to the winning glassblower, yeah? Also next to that is a custom West Coast leather jacket. It's gonna be made for the winner. It's a champion's jacket right here. West Coast Leather made Elvis's one-piece suit. They made Jimi Hendrix's jacket. They make all, these incredible pieces of clothing for superstars, and we got superstars with us today, for sure.
In order to make the most killer pieces, each artist was given the opportunity to come prepared for their episode by bringing as many items and pre-made elements for their pipes that can fit in our OPD prep boxes. And as you'll discover throughout our competition, these prep boxes can make or break an artist's piece.
The pieces that you're creating today will all be available for auction online. And when we sell the pieces, half the money goes to a scholarship program for Pilchuck Glass School. We will pick somebody that wouldn't have otherwise been able to go there to use this money and go there. The other half will be donated to a charity of your choice. Mr. Goins, what's gonna be your charity of choice?
I just was thinking about it now, and I was like, maybe the Tony Hawk Skate Park Foundation.
I like
because skate parks bring so much joy to kids, and then that joy just carries on throughout their life, and that's how I could kind of think of skateboarding for me.
Yeah, that's why we're gonna donate our half to Pilchuck, because we want to support our next generation and give people inspiration in glass. The Windstar, I see you down in the dirty and the details over there. What's happening? What's in your mind? What are you doing?
Drawing some happy little trees, bro.
Happy little trees. I'm feeling a Bob Ross vibe coming out.
Yeah. So one of my greatest inspirations as a young artist. And
Bob Ross?
yeah. My daughter just started oil painting with my mom. Yeah, I grew up doing it, but she's 7 and she got a bunch of oil paints for Christmas.
Do you
so
still
she
paint?
Could start. When I can. Glass takes up pretty much all of my painting time.
Looks like she's painting
you're
right now.
painting. Yes, you are painting on glass.
I paint with fire.
Yashin, what's your favorite North Star colors to use right now?
I've been really psyched on that ghost color.
Ghost, why?
I love ghosting it literally over all the colors, every color. You're gonna see that actually on a lot of these colors that I'm gonna be using.
How do you put it over a color? Just stripe it, or?
I blow it out, so I make a big, chunk, and then I pierce it with graphite, and then I blow it out.
I love the effects
Yeah, the Ghost
of
is sort of a
opaline.
it's part of this line that we're calling the future line. Now, Yush, what do you think about that color? Do you feel like it is meeting those?
It works really smooth, very limited air in it, and it just can add this really cool effect to any color, just like putting it over any color. I don't know. Like a blue, it's like the perfect silver fume. Like, you wish you could get that silver fume every time. Now you can.
What is going on over here, Earl? What are you making? What's the plan?
Making some classical, traditional, bow ties and wig wags. Just kind of warming up and making some ornamentations for my sidecar.
And how do you feel about the sidecar as a pipe or a shape, or?
I love it, man. It's one of the earlier classical shapes that I definitely gravitated towards in my more formative years. It's been a long time since I made a sidecar, so it was cool to revisit that aspect and kind of get back to the roots and everything.
Yeah, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was Bob and Bobby that came up with the sidecar. And it was, a two-part theory was, one, the way it sits on the table was beautiful, and the other was the ash stays over in the boot on the side. And it was real fun to make them change colors.
Smart.
It was the sidecar or a chillum or a top hat. That's what we had. We're under the 15-minute mark right now, counting down. We can see the landing strip in front of us. Soon you will be taking off your space suits and standing on the tarmac, finished with your sidecars.
Yeah, this is always the part where the artists are looking for their little cracks or their anything to fix them up so they can get them in the kiln.
Less than a minute. He's going to straighten the bottom out so it doesn't wobble, and a perfectionist. Fourth quarter bases loaded. Here's the hit right here.
Everybody count down. 10,
Nine,
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, torch is off.
All right.
That's the end of session 1. When we return, our judges will check out the sidecars and reveal their scores. Who will take the lead going into session 2? Find out when we return. Okay, now it's time to judge our sidecars. Abe, what do you think? Does Earl's piece match his colorful smile?
I think it looks amazing. Really like the traditional shape that Earl put down here. Color patterns in there, the nice marbles there. Looks amazing. I really do like the idea of simplicity in color as well. The clear that was in there. So I'm actually going to put out a 9.
Jason?
Oh, I love the sidecar. It's got a great feel. Carbs right there. Bowl's pretty nice. It's got some cool wigwags for sure. I thought it could have used a little more color. I'm gonna give you the Infinity 8.
What do you think, Karen?
I really love the angle of the can. I love the bulbousness of it, but I wish I saw more color in it. The color's a little washed away, and if the theme is color, I think that even if it's not bold, it should be really apparent. Where this is a little bit washed out, but still beautiful pipe. So I'm giving you a 9 still.
All right. All right, Windstar. Let's check out that Bob Ross.
Bob Ross.
What's going on there?
You know, being the color guy, you got to inspect these color pieces, you know? I mean,
A lot of
obviously,
your colors in there, Abe.
Shayla just nailed Bob Ross to a T. We can all see. Paintbrush.
The afro?
Amazing. Really amazing. I'm actually at a 9 as well.
All right, Jason?
I love the wood texture in glass. I've always been attracted to that. I like the way she did the rainbow up front with on the paintbrush. Her hair the hair is kind of chocolatey. I would have liked to see a little bit more, maybe striations in the head, but yeah, it's awesome. It really captured Bob. And the happy little tree and river, gotta love it. I'm gonna give you a 9, high skill level.
All right. And you're up, Karen.
Craftsmanship, woo, 10. Design, excellent, 10. Theme, 10. Color, beautiful. I can't think of one thing wrong with this gorgeous pipe. My only wish is I could give you 11.
All right. Perfect 10. Abe, what do you think of Yusheen's pipe?
Obviously, to the traditional Yusheen style, these amazing discs, faceted. The marble is just amazing as well. The color work inside there, the color on the discs, the nice boot, flattened boot here, sucked in on the bottom just a little bit like the old traditional style. Nice bowl size. I think it looks great. So I'm gonna go with a 9 as well.
Jason?
Yeah, I like the sidecar. It's kind of off center, off the front of the stem. It's a gorgeous piece. I would like to have a bigger bowl. I like to pack a little bit more weight when I'm on the fences.
Fair.
I think he definitely used the color to exploit the color theme. So I'm going with the 9er from the diner.
Woo.
Thanks, man.
All right, Karen, moment of truth.
I look at this and I think, gosh, it's so hard to judge a master. I look at this and I see the passion and just the impeccable craftsmanship. Even on concentration alone and watching you work, I'd give you a 10.
Damn.
All right, so Shayla and Yusheen are both tied with 28 points. Woo! Good job, you guys. Session 1 is in the books. Yusheen and Windstar are tied with 28 points. Now it's time to move on to Session 2, the dab rig. And with a little more on this essential piece, let's go once again to Professor Blunston in Dream Piece Theater.
Good evening. I'm Professor Blunston, and welcome to Dream Piece Theater, where tonight we will feature one of the most sought-after glass pieces on the market. The dab rig. Most dab rigs are built like a glass bong, but the difference is that it's fitted with a nail, which is semi-similar to a bowl, but with a hole in the side that leads to the pipe, rather than one at the bottom. On today's market, you can find several different variations of the dab rig, but the basic rig looks like a bong. Now let's go back to the Dream Factory and watch our artists concentrate on making the best dab rigs for their concentrates.
Our artists are set to go create their dab rigs. Session 2 when we come back. Welcome back to Operation Pipe Dreamers. It's now time to start Session 2, and our theme continues to be color. A spot in the championships is on the line. Ladies and gentlemen, start your torches.
Just make sure you put your lighter in your pocket, not on the bench. It's happened to me before. Never again.
Looks like you're gonna pull a point.
I'm just gonna tear this tube apart, probably add a handle to it actually. I'm not a big fan of points. A little too flimsy for me. Maybe when you're making goblets and stuff like that, for sure, but.
Times have changed, Jason. It's all handles now, boy.
That's for sure. Yusheen, what's your plan today?
So I'm making this piece that I've made a few other times. It's called EDM, which stands for Energy Disc MIB. It's 3 different designs that I do, but I bring them all together in one design. So the energy part is because I made this piece called an energy loop, and I had these loops that go up and dump into this disc. And then I took that part of it, but instead I put discs on the side. That's why it's called an energy disc. And then the MIB part is this hollow marble with a marble inside the hollow marble that the water goes through. And that's the MIB. So I just call it the EDM. It's easier, yeah.
Windstar, what are you up to over there? Oh, what are you making?
So I'm making a very elegant, kind of scientific style tube. It has a bunch of stained glass monarch butterflies that I've been working on. It's a technique I've kind of been working on for the last 2 years, and a lot of the colors I've been using are North Star colors, and the cadmiums are amazing, so I'm really excited about it.
I'm amazed how hot, Windstar's getting it for that fuse.
Yeah, I think it's time for some shades, isn't it?
Yeah, it starts to get bright with the big pieces.
It is. Slowly blowing that out, that's lush.
Keep it on center like that.
Gorgeous,
It's got a lot of weight.
And the shape, too, of it, it almost mimics like a lathe, where someone would be sitting on a lathe. It sort of mimics that shape.
What's happening in there, Earl? You're doing some inside-out work?
Inside drawing.
Just the OG tech of doing some inside out. Pulled out these stringers, some Duro again and Calypso. Making up some prep for my infinity bottle that I'll be making.
So you're gonna flip that the color to the outside?
It's already going to be on the outside. I'm drawing it on the inside, and you can see it on the outside already. So.
This is actually like a different application.
A different technique?
Different technique.
It's called inside out.
Yep. Yeah, for the beginning years, everyone used to put color and everything on the outside of the tube, right? That was sort of the traditional style. And then over time, this technique, what we call inside out, was you'd flare open the tube, you draw on the inside, so when you shrink everything down, you've got this really nice, clear, magnified layer that brings out what's underneath it.
I love it. I got a piece from Dave Willis, a beautiful bong that was all inside out, and probably, I don't know, 20 years ago.
Yep,
I want to
sure.
say like 5.
Yeah.
But I still love it. I mean, it's gorgeous. And you can really see the texture is what I really love.
Yep.
The depth of the cane work.
Yep.
I love dimensionality.
What's that going to be, Earl?
This is going to be some sections for that infinity bottle that I'll be putting together. Going to do some wig wags and some bow ties to accent the piece.
Wig wag. Tell us more about what's a wig wag.
So a wig wag is when you take some line tubing and pull it down and then spin one direction and then basically move a little bit over and heat it up and spin it the opposite direction. Creates a wig and a wag motion.
And then what's a bow tie?
A bow tie is a spiral that's been opposed on its axis and then basically torn apart.
The end result sort of looks like a bow tie when you see it. It's like this. It goes like
I think I haven't seen anyone do that in soft glass before. That'd be pretty cool to see. A big soft glass bow tie.
Is that one of your horns?
Yeah, so that's one of the slugs I coiled up with the blossom. I'm gonna put a nice even heat base into it and hopefully pull it out exactly the way I want it to be.
What do you call it?
A little slug. Yeah, right now I'm just trying to put a heat base into that chunk of glass so I can pull it evenly out into a horn.
So what are you doing here, Yushin?
I'm putting this marble inside here. It's the fun part.
Yeah, this move right here is pretty technical.
I may have to borrow somebody's mini torch for this, or I'll do it in one stick. We'll see.
He's trying to get the inside wall of that tube hot.
I usually do this on the lathe, but I can do it by hand too. If need be.
It's always good to go back to basics on occasion.
Stuck.
At home, I would use a lathe to put the marble inside the sphere, the other marble, basically. And it makes that move way easier, but for the competition, I just did it by hand. A little trickier, because you can't, getting it perfectly centered is the tricky part.
Is it pretty centered up?
Yeah. I do need the mini torch. Whoever has one. Thanks.
I love the camaraderie.
Bridge this thing in here. That way it won't move on me.
Woo!
No harm done.
Sorry.
What's going on in there, Yushin?
Got the marble all cooked in here and encapsulated, centered. Now I'm gonna start closing this up, and then I'm gonna connect a collar onto here and then work it out. And then I'm gonna tear off this on the backside and pop a couple of holes, and then this, put a question mark punny on, or a blow tube, and then it'll be ready to stick on the piece. Then I just gotta do some sealing of tubes to connect it all in there.
Things are heating up here at the Dream Factory. The conclusion of session 2 when we return. Welcome back to Operation Pipe Dreamers. We're in the final hour of competition here in session 2. Let's get back to the action.
Really stoked to create this design that represents infinity not only in the shape but also function. The recycling actually recycles right into the perk, so it's kind of like a perpetual, it's what I call the perpetual perk.
And how is the sacred geometry related to the piece? What is the sacred geometry?
The bottle represents infinity. Klein bottle is the object. Woo! Yeah. That's fine. Broke in a good spot. Yeah, it just got a little too cool there on the joint and popped right off. So fortunately it was a real clean break. I was able to just pick it back up and slap her back on.
So that's his blow tube there, where he's got to sort of make it almost into a question mark shape. So when he attaches it, it's on center. You see what I'm saying? So he's got it attached on the side, but now it's on center with his hand.
Yush is going off over here right now. He's got a big piece that he's pulled out of the prep box, and it looks like he's going to be attaching that marble onto it. He's now got his blow tube going. He's working on the Bunsen burner. Looks like he's preheating everything.
Did it look like Yushin had facets on a bunch of that stuff as well, right?
Oh, really? I didn't look at it.
I think so.
Do you really want both sides pretty hot to fuse well?
Yeah. Yeah.
For a good seam, melted seam?
Yeah. I mean, it's a little different, obviously, in the borosilicate glass.
That's what I'm asking,
where soda lime, you know, it's just like, you see these marbles, they're just sort of, they're just plopped on there. Like if this was a Boro artist, you know, they'd go right here on every little seam, heat up that edge, make sure it's super nice and flush, and it matches the shape of the round marble all the way.
Yushin, how'd you get all the patterns on the glass?
Well, it's similar to what Earl was talking about, the wigwag technique, where you take a tube cane and you twist it one way, skip, move over a little, twist it back. But then what I've done is I reverse these on the discs here. They've been reversed.
So what inspires you? What do you love in life?
I love color and light and energy and life and creation. And I'm constantly inspired by all sorts of things. I love to get out in nature. And I had this customer request a monarch butterfly rig for his girlfriend, and he wanted orange and pink, and it really took me a minute to wrap my brain around it, and then finally I figured out the right oranges and pinks.
Ooh, look, oh my God, that's exquisite, that butterfly.
There it goes, right on the piece. Beautiful. He's getting right up underneath there with that hand torch, just making sure the seal is nice, so it doesn't fall off or break off later. It's got to be perfect.
Wow, the painterly quality of her work
adds to the element of fear.
Beyond exceptional.
So Yushin, you're over here checking out Earl's piece. What do you think about his function there?
I watched some videos on Instagram of it functioning, but I'd love to function it, in real life.
It's pretty impressive.
Definitely gonna have to sesh this one.
There.
Yeah, you guys will have to
at least
try
put
this
some
one
water
too.
in it.
I'll fill water.
Yeah, for
fill
sure.
with water so we can try them all.
That'd be sick. Yeah, I really want to try one of your remibs. Man,
this is a better function than the remib, I think.
Nice.
The spinner just.
What do you call this one again?
It's called the EDM.
EDM. All right, Earl.
Excellent.
Woo! Wow.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Because the next move was taking that off, so we're fine. That situation isn't near as scary as it sounds. That piece that broke off was a cold seal that I basically just used to hold the joints as I positioned it. It was designed to break off with very minimal effort. Normally at the end, the very next move, what I would have done is taken it out, flashed it with the flame, and then tapped it off. So really, I just saved myself like 30 seconds worth of time by tapping it on the kiln.
All right, looks like Yushin's in the bag. All right.
I spent a little more time preparing for session 2 than I did for session 1. So it went smooth, I finished, and I think I still had 15 minutes left, which was nice. It worked out good this time, but sometimes it's down to the wire like the last one.
Gotta get in there first, guys.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, you clap.
Yeah. Nice.
All right, that'll do it for session 2. When we come back, we'll crown a winner and see who will advance to the championships. Don't go anywhere. The moment of decision has arrived. Let's start with Earl Jr.'s dab rig. Abe, is it enough to get him over the top?
I mean, I really like the functionality of this. I've seen some of these pieces work and how the water goes through there. I like the simplicity of color sometimes, right? It's like it lets your brain sort of think about what else is in there, especially when this piece colors in. Knowing what Earl puts into it, you know, the story behind the piece, himself, his family. Amazing piece. And I'm gonna go again with the 9.
All right, great score. Jason?
You know, wow, is all I gotta say. I saw him working on the piece. I couldn't really tell what it all was because of the flame around it, but after seeing it up close and getting to experience it, the Klein is a really fun shape for me. I know it's the infinite and super cool stuff. I actually like the way you use the color in this one too, because it's a bigger piece. Same sort of color pattern, but you have more space to take over, and I'm gonna be able to see all this action in here.
Yeah.
I see all the action in the lines. It's almost has that movement feel to me. So I am gonna give Earl a 9.
All right. Karen?
I think the cane work is, quite beautiful on it, and I too also love the flow. It looks like it would be really fun to drink out of. 9.
Yeah. All right, Earl, that makes a total of 53 points. All right, Windstar, let's check out your hash rig.
Oh yeah. This is the dime piece right here. Obviously, color usage, amazing. The stained glass, when you look at it through the light, I mean, just pops. I'm still going with a 9.
Check it out, Jason. There's so much going on there.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. I've seen, her work come. It's so cool the way it looks like a picture in here. The North Star colors in here are just immaculate. You have a great presence, a great style, and you add a lot to the whole Piper movement. And for that, I'm going to give you the 9.
What do you think, Karen?
Yes, you gotta love this. When I first saw it, it almost made me cry. It was so beautiful. And I just love all the sculptural elements. Working with these painterly elements is, you just can't beat it.
It's almost like the butterfly really represents the metamorphosis that the glass goes through. Yeah. And really the contrast, right, between like the softness of the butterfly and the claws really kind of pull it together.
It's pulling right out of the piece.
Great work.
You get a 10.
Yeah. Great job.
Right on.
All right, 56 points total for Windstar, our leader. All right, Abe, what do you think about Yushin?
This one's hot. Obviously, knowing Yushin, seeing his work grow for years and years, from then till now, the facets, the color work, the rainbow, the function of this piece, the simplicity, the cleanness, you know, really looking at the welds and everything. Really think Yushin knocked this one out of the park.
The marbles, too.
Thanks.
Incredible.
I'm going to give Yushin a 10.
All right,
Man.
great score. Jason?
When you invite Yushin to the party, you know kind of what's going to come out. But when we flip it around, we have this marble that water is going to go through and spin around. I'm like, what the fuck? It's the next V12 or whatever. It's the next thing, and he's got some name wrapped around it like a skateboard trick.
Of course.
So he's able to make something and then name it himself, and anybody else now who makes that has to call it that name that he named it. I think that's cool. Give you a 9.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Right on, you.
Karen, what do you think of the technical aspect of that?
Where do you start? You can tell it's the brain, the eyes, in the hands of a master. It was an honor to watch you work, Yushin. Thank you. So I'm giving you a 10.
All right. Yushin's your winner. Moving on into the finals. Well done. Judges, come on out.
Very cool.
Let's congratulate the artist.
I was ready to lose, you know, if that was gonna happen. I would have been stoked for Shayla or Earl. But you know, I'm honored to move forward in the competition tomorrow and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. We'll just see what happens.
I am Tommy Chong, and from all of us here at Operation Pipe Dreamers and the cannabis community, never stop living the dream.
You know, it's a dream come true. I didn't ever really see a show like this ever even coming about.
It's really, with this show, I think, a good chance to show the intent of the artists behind this movement.
To see what we do come to mainstream until we get legitimized, which hopefully this can help do. We're just pipe makers, but we're really artists.